Joining us on Blitz is Coach Steve Shedd for the Banks County Lady Leopards. Coach, always appreciate getting a chance to come talk to you and hang out a little bit and talk about your team.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me. And fresh off of back-to-back region championships, that is an incredible feat. What is that like? Can you put that into words and being able to accomplish that feat?
Well, I don't think it's anything that, I think anytime you have an opportunity to win a region championship, it's special. I think that, I kept telling the girls that, to take it all in as we were going through this process, that if you look at the history of a program, those region championships a lot of times are few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have an opportunity to win another region championship is special.
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell the girls, take in every moment, moment, especially the seniors, take in every moment that you have when it comes to, opportunities like this.
Yeah.
Because they're the things that you'll remember the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And so I just think it speaks a lot of our program and the consistency that we've been able to have throughout the years. But I also think that it speaks highly of this senior class that we have this year, and all the work that they've put in through the years. And I just remember them back when they were in middle school, when they won a middle school championship, and we knew we had a special group coming in. And when we got Addison, obviously, Addison Hoare being a senior leader, Carly Seegers being a senior leader, Valentina Torres, unfortunately, back in January, she has a tibia fracture. So she's been out, and but she's still, that leadership is still there. Maddie Hicks is another senior that we have that shows a lot of leadership. So I think that they have built a standard,
mm-hmm.
and for all of those that are coming behind them to be able to follow. And so we just can't say enough about this senior class.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's go back to you start the season out 3-3, and I think you did this almost exact thing last year.
Yes.
A little bit. Now, I don't really want to say rough start, but
Yeah.
you took a few hits there at the beginning, and then something clicked, and now you're on one of those Banks County runs we always see,
Mm-hmm.
16 games in a row at this point. What clicked or what was said at that point in the season to sort of spark the turnaround?
Last year I could definitely tell you when that happened. I'm not real sure I could tell you the moment that it clicked. I just told our girls when the season started, and it didn't start out quite the way we thought it would. I'm not going to make a whole awful lot of excuses, but we did go through some injuries. We went through some times where we had the flu ran through the team. That probably, I don't know whether it would have made a difference or not. I mean, that's a hypothetical, I guess. But I think that I kept telling them everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And I told everybody that. That I knew what this team was capable of doing. I knew what we did this summer. We had a really, really impressive summer. We went to the GBCA event, had a good event there. So I was never at any point in time pressing the panic button, and I think we just kept the girls focused one game at a time. I do believe maybe the point where I guess it really came together was where it started, and that was when we went to Florida. And I had, it was crazy. We had the whole team just about it. Like at some point in time through the process was battling the flu. And so the first game we went down there, we didn't have Carly, and we ended up losing a game against Fort Walton. But it seemed like after that, once we were able to get everybody back in the next day, it seemed like it kind of clicked, and we started playing a little bit more like we did this summer. Fast pace, kind of in-your-face, full-court defense, which is different than the way we played last year. We hardly ever pressed last year much at all. This year, we spend the majority of the time trying to do that, and it's just the strength of this team. They play better when they're sped up. And so once we got back fully healthy, we felt like it was our strengths started to really come out, and we seemed to be really focused. And then once it's almost like you get in a zone, and game after game, they just got better and better.
Yeah.
So.
And probably not peaked yet, hopefully. That's,
Well, yeah, we're hoping not. We're hoping not.
Now, talk about last year, state runner-up finish, fantastic year. You bring back something that's never been done here before. But I imagine that the competitor in you is like, man, we got there, incredible feat, runner-up, nothing at all to hang your head about. But I imagine that's something you think about for a while and want to get back there again. Is it fair to say that that's really been a driving force this year for this team to want to get back there and win it this year?
No doubt. When you, and I said this in an interview down in Macon last year, that when you get that close and you come up a little bit short, it leaves a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth, but also it leaves you with kind of a hunger to want to get back and experience that again. That was an experience like I've, as a coach, you just kind of dream about. You don't know if you'll ever get there or not. And the whole experience with our community and how they rallied around us during that time, it was one of the greatest times. I know these girls will never forget.
Oh, yeah.
And I know they want to get back there so bad. And they're really, really hungry for it. It's been something that I think the way you worded it, a driving force, almost an obsession to want to get back there. And these girls work very hard. Our goal is to get back there. We take it, as we always say, we take it one game at a time. But, I always say the next game, why is it important, girls? And they'll say, well, because it's the next game. And because, if you look past teams, it don't matter what team it is, anybody can come in if you underestimate someone and beat you. So, but that has been our target goal, is to try to get back there. And I know it's a lofty expectation, but, we feel like we believe in ourselves, and we believe that, regardless of what maybe anybody else thinks, we think we've got a team that can actually get back there for sure.
Absolutely. And what I love is always, I'm one that looks in the future as well as the present, and I love being able to see a team that's got senior leaders, but then following them, you've got a great group of juniors. You've got freshmen, up-and-coming talent that, they're going to blow people's minds next year when they get more playing time. But what's that like as a coach, being able to have that rarity to have a roster top to bottom that you have so many stars?
Yeah, we're very fortunate to have, when you're in a small, and I know there are a lot of schools in Northeast Georgia that are this way, but when you're in a small community, you really have to, you can't just look at your program here at the high school. You've got to try to look at the middle school, and you've got to look beyond that and try to build. And, that's just something we've been doing here for years, and I think it starts to pay off, when they get to high school. And the other thing is that when you start combining your senior talent with your freshman talent, they never got to play together before, and now you've got freshmen that can actually get in there and contribute. It's just, it definitely sets up for a great balance across the board. It gives you, able to look in the future and say, hey, we're going to, hopefully be good down the road as well. But I will say this, and it goes back to our senior class. I think you have to have a senior class that is willing to take in those girls and take them under their wing and show them how things need to be done and how to do things the right way. And our seniors have done that. I can speak for my own daughter, who's a ninth grader, that, she loves the seniors on this team. And, and so I think you have to have that. I think if you don't have that and have that chemistry between them, because there's so many years in between them, you have to have that chemistry. And I think that our seniors have done a great job, again, like I said, of setting the standard. When we come into practice every day, those seniors show everybody how you're supposed to practice, the right kind of attitude that you're supposed to have, how to be in games. When you're, when you've got girls cheering you on the court, are you going to cheer for them just as hard when you come off the court as they cheer for you? That type of thing. And so I think it really comes down to that. Without that, we do our best as coaching staff to try to build that camaraderie between everybody, but I think you have to have a good senior class.
Sure.
And we've definitely got one for sure.
Absolutely, no doubt. Talk about, this is that fun time of year, but also a little bit more stressful because now everything ratchets up because you never know when it's going to end at this point. There's no given. So what is your mindset as a coach on the playoffs? I mean, do you erase everything at this point and tell your team, hey, we're 0-0. We haven't beat anybody now. Who cares about a region championship? Now every game is just that much more important.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of look at it that way. I think you look at you look at a season as a whole, and you can break it up into 3 parts almost. You can break it up. You've got your non-region. It seems like when non-region play is just about ready to finish up, you're like, man, I'm ready to just get to region, nothing but region.
Yeah.
And then you get to region play, and it's like, oh man, we've been playing each other, 2 times, 3 times. You're ready to see somebody else. And I think that's a good way of looking at it. And I told the girls in the locker room the other night after we won the region that it's a 1-game season from this part, from this point forward, and we have to treat it as that. Can't take it for granted. We got to come out every day. Games are won at practice. We feel like if we win tomorrow, not against McNair, it'll be because we practiced hard today.
Yeah.
And so that's our mindset going into that is that, like I said, as the old cliche, we're going to take it 1 game at a time, but we're not going to underestimate anybody.
Yep.
We have goals, and places that we want to get to, and we're going to do our best not to let anything stand in the way.
Yep.
So, we're looking forward to it, and like I said, this is the best time of the year. It's fun. Yeah. It can be a little stressful, but I'll be honest with you, getting through region and getting through the region tournament, for some reason this year was probably the most stressful time. I don't know why. So I'm a little relieved to get through that now, and now to kind of look forward to this. I'm sure as, if we're fortunate enough to get it from round to round, it'll get more and more stressful. But I tell the girls, leave the stress to me. Y'all don't worry about it. You just go out there and do your thing and let me stress. So,
absolutely.
But it's fun, and we're definitely looking forward to it.
Well, congrats on all the success so far, but I can't wait to see what lies ahead in the next couple of weeks. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Brian. We appreciate you.